Rivera into a handsome cynic, and today I come with you with a monologue, also hot take, because I know that some people won't exactly like what I have to say, but I'm fine with it. Whatever. That's the way I am. I say certain things that people don't like, or I tweet certain things some people have a problem with, and that's fine. I'm in my kitchen. Not sure you could see it, but obviously you can't see it, but I'm in my kitchen. And I'm going to discuss my opinion on why, excuse me, I'm all over the place. Why Donald Trump is a victim of the deep state or permanent Washington or whatever, however you want to phrase the individuals that are in power in Washington. Because it's definitely not the president, not Donald Trump, not this current president, Joe Biden, not Barack Obama, not George W. Bush, not Bill Clinton, not George H.W. Bush, not Ronald Reagan, etc., etc., etc. They're not in power. The people who are in power are the lifers in Washington, the deep state, the permanent Washington. People work in the State Department, people that work in the CIA, people that work in the NSA, people that work in Congress, people that congressmen, senators themselves who are in office for decade after decade after decade. That's permanent Washington. That's the deep state. That's whoever That's whatever name you want to use for these people. Those are people really in power, and quite frankly, they have victimized the former president Donald Trump in ways that I'm even shocked by. Like, holy shit! He's been indicted in New York. He's been indicted in now Miami. Federal court. He's about to get indicted in Georgia for the fake electors scandal thing. And for what? Why is he being in what? Why do the deep state Washington insiders care so much about Donald Trump? Why is he such? Why is he so odious, so hated in Washington? Why? It's very simple. The perception is he's anti-war. He's come out against he openly when he's running in 2016 he was against the Iraq war. He came out and basically said that George Bush lied us into a war, which is true. He So that was the truth. He also came out with he was also against his rhetoric, to be fair. His rhetoric was anti-war and old school paleo conservatism. If you know, I'm sure if you're watching this video, that conservatives throughout American history were elected to end wars. Liberals would start the wars, and conservatives would end the wars. World War One, who started it? Woodrow Wilson, not really, but who got us into World War One? Woodrow Wilson, a liberal Democrat. Who got us out of World War One? A Republican president. Again, let's fast forward to World War Two. Who got us into World War Two? FDR, liberal Democrat. Who got us out? Ultimately, who ultimately the bottom line is this. Look, I'm all over the place here, but yeah, the war ended. To be fair, World War Two ended before Republican was elected, which was Eisenhower. But Vietnam, again, who Nixon got us out of Vietnam, even though he didn't want to get us out of Vietnam, but still, I mean, he was forced out of Vietnam by the communists. So throughout history, you would see liberals start war and conservatives end them. And so George W. Bush, that kind of changed there. When he got us into Afghanistan, he got us into Iraq, he got us in he started torture, all that stuff. So that's what permanent Washington, the deep state, whatever you want to call these people want to do. They want to fucking be in endless wars. They want to be an empire. It's like they're playing a game of Risk. They want to control the entire planet, and they want to be the greatest empire in in human history. I mean, they want to be greater than Alexander the Great. They want to be greater than Peter the Great. They want to be the biggest empire on earth. They want to control the most land than anyone on this godforsaken planet. Let me get back to my point. I digress because I can go on all day about that. Donald Trump has the nerve to run against Hillary Clinton. That's one. How dare he run against Hillary Clinton? Because Hillary Clinton was the chosen one of the empire, of the deep state. They wanted her as president because they knew that they can count on her to continue to be basically Obama's third term, continue all the wars, be like the good president, the caring president, that they wanted her in power. That didn't happen. Donald Trump was elected. Ever since then, Donald Trump became public enemy number one in Washington. The perception is he's anti-war. Why? Because he's against, allegedly at least, in Washington's mind, he's against Russia-Ukraine war. He doesn't want to be, allegedly, again, perception. Because my favorite saying is perception is reality. So the perception is Donald Trump is with Russia and against Ukraine in Washington. So what he's going to do, what Washington's going to do actually is doing everything they can to keep him out of power again. Make sure he's not reelected president, he's not back in the White House. Because if he's back in the White House, it's very likely that Ukraine and Russia will get into peace long before there'll be forced a peace negotiation between Russia and Ukraine. Very likely. Again, who know if people I get people telling me, well, I mean, he's anti-war. Donald Trump is an anti-war because he kills General Soleimani, and he tried to overthrow the government in Venezuela, and he tried to do this, that, and the third. That means he's pro-war, not anti-war. Like, yes, he did do all of that. I'm not claiming that he didn't do any of that. What I'm claiming is the perception in Washington is that he's anti-war, and he's going to, at the very least, get us out of the Russia-Ukraine proxy war, which is what Washington does not want. They want to overthrow Putin. They're desperate. I mean, they are looking for any excuse to invade Russia and to start World War III. They haven't found that excuse, but if Putin gives them that excuse, they will invade. They will start World War III. And the Chinese will come in to protect the Russians, and here we go, World War III. We're right in the middle of another World War again. So that's what they want. That's what permanent Washington, the deep state, that's what they want. They are salivating at the mouth. They have any excuse to invade Russia, to take out Putin, to murder as many Russians as they can. It's like in Washington is like 1965. They're still in the Cold War. They still want to ramp up arms. They cannot wait to invade Russia. Like, it's 1965 still in Washington. Maybe 1962 or 1963. Whenever the Cuban Missile Crisis was, that's where they're in Washington still. I don't remember the exact year. I'm pretty sure it was 63. Yeah, 63, because it had to be. Again, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's 63. That's where they are in Washington. Donald Trump has been victimized by Washington, by the deep state, whatever you want to call it. And I know this will upset some people. Like, how dare you say Donald Trump's a victim? And that's fine. I mean, that's your opinion. I respect it, whatever. But this is my opinion. He's definitely been a victim in the deep state. And he hasn't helped himself either. I mean, the way he runs his mouth and the way that he gets himself into these situations, he hasn't helped himself. But at the same time, clearly this isn't a man who's fully in control of his faculties. So he says, at times he's honest. He's like, "Hey, we tried to do Venezuela, and he tried to take the oil. We almost had Venezuela, but of course Joe Biden changed his mind, changed my policies, and blah 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 blah." And they're pissed about that because he's brutally honest. That's the intention of trying to overthrow the Venezuelan government. And again, and the same thing in Syria. Donald Trump was like, well, I mean, we got the oil. That's the whole point of that. We got the oil. And again, in Iraq, we almost had the oil. And that's what's going on here. And they're pissed at Donald Trump telling the truth. So they're desperately trying, they're slinging shit at the wall and hoping to God something sticks. From the Stormy Daniels thing to E. Jean Carroll suing him to the incoming indictment in Georgia, to the indictment in Florida, to the indictment in New York. I mean, they are throwing shit at the wall to the point where something has to stick on Teflon Don in their minds. Something has to stick. Nothing stuck so far, but something has to stick. Russiagate didn't stick to him. Ukraine Gate didn't stick to him at a time when he tried to get the Ukrainians to look into Hunter Biden, and nothing stuck to this guy. Nothing. Grab him by the pussy. Nothing stuck to this guy. That's why they're desperately throwing anything at the wall. The Democrats or permanent Washington, deep state, whatever you call these fuckers. They're trying to throw everything at the wall in order to make sure that Donald Trump isn't the president of the United States again in 2024 or 2025. To be fair, when the new president is inaugurated, whoever ends up being. Excuse me. And that's it. I mean, Trump is gonna do what he's not gonna give in. They're hoping that he just says, "I'm not running again. Please don't charge me. Please let me plead out. Do something. Not running again." He's gonna continue running. He just said it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not giving up. Yeah, I'm gonna be here. I'm not going away. I'm not going anywhere. So good luck to you trying to put me in jail because it ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna put him in jail." The charges in Florida, for example, none of them carry any jail time. The maximum is 20 years, but you think Donald Trump's getting 20 years? For even if he's convicted, you think he's getting 20 years? He's not getting 20 years. He's not getting any jail time. Maybe he'll get a big fine and that's it. And they'll do this and move on with everybody's day. It's like, oh yeah, he gets a fine. That's it. He'll continue running for president. None of this is gonna work. This is just a big waste of time dicking around with all these charges for no reason. They want Russia. They want to take out Putin so badly. They can taste it. That's why they want Joe Biden to be reelected. Because Joe Biden is he's so far gone that he'll do whatever permanent Washington deep state, the Pentagon, whoever, CIA, he'll do whatever they tell him to do. Because he's so far gone that it's like, oh yeah, oh yeah, invade Russia. Oh, it's 1984. Yeah, definitely invade Russia. We hate Russia. That's in his. That's what Joe Biden is, and they want a puppet. Perception is Donald Trump will not be a puppet, which is why they don't want him back in the White House. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump turned up dead somewhere, and they'll say, well, he committed suicide because of all the pressure on him and the prosecutions and stuff. He decided to commit suicide by 2 bullets in the back of his head. I would not be surprised if that happened. By the way, that happened to former LA Times reporter Gary Webb, who was exposing the CIA's drug war. CIA bringing in drugs into the U.S. to the cartels. He was shot twice in the back of the head, and the LAPD called it suicide. He was, in other words, suicided. So don't be surprised if I would not be shocked if Donald Trump ended up suicided somewhere. So yeah, Donald Trump's a victim of the deep state, permanent Washington, whatever you want to call it. I rambled on for 13 minutes, and it's way too long. So I'm going to wrap it up here. Tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give me a like. Please subscribe to the channel. I will be streaming tomorrow afternoon, probably around 2 o'clock. Check that out because I will be talking a lot more about this, about Donald Trump and on all the indictments and reaction to the indictments, of course, from liberals. Check that out as well tomorrow afternoon, 2 o'clock, around there. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't ramble on too long. Follow me on Twitter. It's right there. Right there. Yeah, you see my finger. There you go. Follow me on Twitter. The links are the hashtags. My Twitter handles are there. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. I said it 3 times now. I'll see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And have a good rest of your Thursday day. Yeah, I need to get off this video because I'm rambling and I'm not making any sense. Have a great day.